I would like to introduce our witnesses. Our first witness today is Jack Sellers, who is the chairman of the Board of Supervisors of Maricopa County, Arizona. Then we will hear from Bill Gates, who is the vice chairman of the Board of Supervisors of Maricopa County. Next, we will hear from David Becker, who is the executive director and founder of the Center for Election Innovation and Research. Next, we will hear from Gauri Ramachandran, who is a senior counsel at the Brennan Center for Justice. And finally, we will hear from Ken Bennett, who was the Senate Audit Liaison and the former Secretary of State in Arizona. The witnesses will be unmuted so that we can swear them in. Please raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Let the record show that the witnesses answered in the affirmative. Thank you. Without objection, your written statements will be made part of the record. With that, Mr. Sellers, you are now recognized for your testimony. Thank you for traveling here from Arizona and for your public service. Mr. Sellers.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Thank you all for inviting me here today. I want to start by saying that the election of November 3rd, 2020 in Maricopa County was free, fair, and accurate. Maricopa County is the second largest voting district in the United States of America. I sit before you today as a Republican who was voted into office in November of 2020. And there's a member of this distinguished committee who was also successful in the November 2020 election held in Maricopa County. But the most important people involved in the November election were the men and women of the Maricopa County Elections Department. They executed a secure, accurate, and efficient election of over 1.8 million voters in the nation's fourth most populous county during a worldwide pandemic. Our election department was praised by election experts throughout the country, and we received an award from the National Association of Counties. Maricopa County began planning for the 2020 election immediately after the November 2018 election results were canvassed and submitted to the Arizona Secretary of State. The county began to assess staff, processes, and equipment needs in anticipation of the 2020 election cycle and taking appropriate action to complete that preparation, because we also knew that the election results in Maricopa County would play a pivotal role in both the outcome of the presidential race and the U.S. Senate chamber political makeup. I'm very proud of the efforts we put forth to prepare. We worked closely with the Arizona Secretary of State, our legislative leaders in both the House and the Senate, the Attorney General, and the Governor's Office. We were also very inclusive of all the political parties who participated fully in not only observing Election Day administration and tabulation, but also in pre- and post-election logic and accuracy testing. If you were in Arizona politics in November of 2020 and didn't understand how Maricopa County was running elections, then you just weren't paying attention. The county authored an election bill regarding electronic adjudication at the legislature, which passed both chambers unanimously and was signed by our governor. The county invested in a very robust voter education campaign, so if you watched TV, tweeted, Instagrammed, or used YouTube, you saw our media campaign. We implemented the technology to educate our residents on when and how to register, how you can vote, where you can vote, and the wait times at the polling locations, all by pushing a button on your phone. We ran a presidential preference election in February. All participants agreed it was well run and accurate. We ran the primary election in August of 2020. Again, the public, the candidates, and the political parties all agreed the county's election execution was excellent. We ran the 2020 general election in November, and suddenly, what to that point had been a great process was deemed fatally flawed by a small yet loud minority. I dare say if you're a student of Maricopa County Republican election history, you are not surprised by the results. It was not a flawed election process, not a lack of security. It was a candidate that many Maricopa County Republicans simply did not support. If that lesson is not clear to our state and county Republican leaders, then I'm afraid 2022 will not be favorable to my party. During these last 10 months, I've learned a lot about people. And frankly, I was naive in thinking that I could just sit down with our state Senate leadership and explain the answers to their questions and accusations, and we could put this uncertainty behind us and move on with securing a fruitful future for our residents. But it's become clear that there are those who don't care what the facts are. They just want to gain political power and raise money by fostering mistrust of the greatest power an individual can exercise in the United States, their vote. I'm an elected official. Some say I signed up for this, and that's true. But I ran because economic development and maintaining our quality of life is very important to me. Making sure the Valley of the Sun has the proper investment in infrastructure, technology, and education is what drives me. Relitigating a failed campaign is not what drives me. So it's time to move on. It's time to put our efforts into securing a greater future for our country, and that's exactly what I plan to do. Thank you.